Hello, everybody. My name is Taylor Bergen, and I am the interim director at CSPS. Thank you for tuning in and welcome once again to Boundaries. This is the seventh edition of Boundaries that we've done. We're really excited to welcome you here tonight. We have a really great lineup of folks this evening. We have a poet, writer, and activist. We have an author, singer-songwriter, and a really great Iowa blues legend band. We're excited to have you here this evening, and I am going to get out of the way and welcome our first performer right now. One more thing before I do that, actually, you can see at the bottom of the screen, this is kind of a new feature for us, ways that you can support the artist while they are presenting. And we really ask that you do that. You know, this pandemic has had a massive effect on our industry of live performance. And it's kind of an undefined time when we'll be able to see you in person again. So please, if you have the ability, support these artists by buying their work, by supporting them, by tipping them on their Venmo or visiting their social media. But please, if you can, support them. So without further ado, I'm going to bring Nina J. Hi, Nina. How are you?
Hi, how are you, Sarah? I'm good.
Good. So Nina is a writer, poet, and activist, and I am so happy to have her perspective here tonight. So I will let you perform. So thank you so much.
Thank you. I'm going to read two poems for you tonight. I want to say at the outset that I wanted to come and have a totally different experience with you this evening, but things have changed, and this is where I must enter this room this evening. So one poem is called Yesterday, meaning I wrote it yesterday. The other poem is going to be called Today, meaning it's what came out today. Yesterday I had two poems after George Floyd was murdered. I posted two poems, a poem on Facebook, and because of some of the language, they took the poem down, deleted it. I don't even have a copy of it, so it was in essence stolen from me. And then I wrote a poem in response to that action by Facebook, and they stole that one too. So this one is called Yesterday. White piece of shit was the hate speech, was the reason they stole my poems. That's what I call the murderer, because anybody that can do what he did and how he did ain't nothing but that. My poems were not even up for 20 minutes, but the words white piece of shit offended you so much more than murder. How come? Check his pulse. He's not responding. Get your knee off his neck. Don't seem to offend you. He killed that man, white. He killed that man, peace. He killed that man he killed that man, shit. That's what he did. He murdered that brother, and he didn't care the whole world see him. And now you over here policing my words, policing my rage, instead of focusing on things without color, pieces of that shit falling out of America's ass. The next poem I'm reading for you is called Today. Because I found myself trying to live my life like regular, but also knowing what life is like and trying to have simple conversations with the kids and with my nieces and my family. But I can't even focus or hear anything anybody's saying because this is all I can think about. So this poem is called Today. The sun is shining. I'm safe. I'm alive. I'm distracted. I'm altered. I can't focus. I'm in the twilight zone. You wouldn't believe the images flying through my mind, the violent desires bubbling beneath the soft brown skin. I remind myself of reality. I witnessed a murder yesterday, a lynching. Keep hearing people say, in 2020? As if 1965, as if 1865 held some logic or held some inhumanity long outlived. Yes, in 2020, yesterday, 2020, we watched a lynching. Standing under that tree, if you ain't screaming, if you ain't crying, then you smiling in that fucking picture. Rosy cheeks and all. This moment, just a reminder to me, to those Black like me. If you feel off, outraged, crazy, rough like an alley cat with lion's claws, be easy with yourself. Feel everything you feel and fuck anybody who tells you different, who tries to calm you, lull you into some fairy tale about patience, about fairness, about justice. Ain't gonna be no justice. Whose word is justice anyway? Nah, I want the minutes back, them slow, agonizing minutes. I want him to get the minutes back, but that can't never happen. And I want them 8 bullets back, but that ain't never gonna happen either. Long live Brianna. Dead is forever. And no arrest, no prison ever make dead undead. Sometimes justice is just a word we place where empty does exist. It don't mean shit. We saw a murder. Nothing normal about it. That's trauma. So be easy. So be rough. You ain't got to explain to nobody, nothing. Anybody who asks, just remember their name and then fuck them. They are not your friends. And you, if you ever wondered what you might have done under one of those beautifully photographed trees, just look up, see the tree. What are you going to look like in this picture? Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Nina. That was very powerful, and thank you. All right. With that, we are going to bring our next performer to the virtual stage. Here to play some music for you this evening is Hannah. Hi, Hannah.
Hi. Thanks so much for tuning in, everybody. Thanks to Nina for those inspiring, powerful words and for your activism. That was amazing. I'm like almost moved to tears. So if you happen to somehow just be tuning in and miss that, I would really encourage you to look up her social medias, her poetry. That was incredible. So while it's been really tough to not be able to perform live, it's been really humbling to be a part of such a vibrant music and arts culture here in Iowa. And so I'd like to thank CSPS and Dead Coast Presents for bringing me here today. Brian and Tyler, thanks so much. The first song that I'm going to be playing today is a song that I used for my NPR Tiny Desk Contest submission. I was able to record this one live for a video with my full band, whom I miss dearly. This song comes from kind of a rough patch that I went through over the beginning of this year, and it's always a constant reminder to me to appreciate the beauty in our everyday lives, even when we're going through rough times in the world and there's a lot of negativity and fear. So with that, this is The Bright Side. Fell face first on the pavement. The sidewalk skinned my knees. The world, it kept on moving at such an alarming speed. This season has felt the coldest, though the weather has been fine. And I am now the oldest I have been in quite some time. Good news about being on the ground. I can only look up now. The bright side too, falling so far down. I can only look up now. I'm face down in the water, let it wash over me. I'm no one for a moment till I come up to breathe, to breathe. The good news about being on the ground, I can only look up now. The bright side too, falling so far down. I can only look up now. Good news, bright side. The good news, bright side. I can only look up now. Fell face first on the pavement. The sidewalk skinned my knees. The world, it kept on moving. Such an alarming speed. Thanks for listening. One of the things that I miss most about live performance is having the audience to feed off of. Live streams are great, and I'm really thankful that we have the internet so that we can continue to share our varying forms of art. However, it's very odd when you get done playing a song and it's like radio silence in your one-bedroom apartment. So speaking of silence, this next song is about ghosting. Sorry, I'm so bad at multitasking and I'm just trying to tune my guitar. So if you don't know what ghosting is, it is typically in like a romantic sense, but it can be any kind of relationship where you have a normally communicative, situation with somebody, and then all of a sudden one party like cuts off completely. And so this next song is called Ghost, and it is off of my first record, which I put out in December. So I will play that for you now. Sorry. Something's wrong. That's what it is, sorry. Okay. I wish that I could be quiet, 'cause I'm always putting my foot in my own mouth. I could start a riot without anyone ever knowing what it's about. If it's all the same to you, then why do I even bother? If I'm just a name to you, then why'd you take my number? You're a ghost, and I'm talking to a wall. You're a ghost, 'cause you never text to call me back, ghost. And I'm going stir crazy, a ghost, 'cause you won't treat me like a lady, Oh, 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 I wish my actions were based in science, 'cause I'm always letting my emotions take the wheel. I could turn a minor infraction on its head till you think it's a big deal. If it's all the same to you, then why do I feel so different? I could pass the blame to you, 'cause it's easier than dealing with it. You're a ghost, and I'm talking to a wall. You're a ghost, 'cause you never text to call me back, ghost. And I'm going stir crazy, ghost, 'cause you won't treat me like a lady, Oh, 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 funny how in the city everything still feels so small. Monsters lurk round every corner. I smile and wave to them all. But you're a ghost, and I'm talking to a wall. You're a ghost, I guess you never text to call me back, ghost. And I'm going stir crazy, a ghost, 'cause you won't treat me like a lady, yeah. Oh, 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 yeah. Oh, 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 yeah. Ah, oh, 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 yeah. Oh, 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 All right, so that was the first single that I ever put out, in the first song on my record, White Picket Fence, which is out everywhere you can listen to music, and you can also get it digitally or on CD at Bandcamp, which is a great resource for artists. They've done a lot to give back to the community during these times. And speaking of which, there are tons of organizations that could use your help right now. CSPS, the Englert Theater, Iowa Public Radio, your local food bank. Ours in Iowa City is Community. So yeah, if you can afford to help any of those organizations out, that would be amazing. If you feel so inclined that you enjoyed my performance, that you would like to tip me in any way, my Venmo is at Hannah Frey. Thanks so much. This next one is the title track of my record, recorded out at Flat Black Studios. It is called White Picket Fence, and I wrote and recorded that album with my parents, Doug and Lisa Frey. They are also in a band in Eastern Iowa called The Collective. So that experience was really cool, getting to kind of bond with my family, and I've also been able to spend a lot more time with them during quarantine. So yeah, this one is called White Picket Fence. Wake up and smell the roses on the kitchen counter. Break down your dreams and save the face. Well, isn't this what I wanted? Doesn't it look like a magazine? Why do I feel so haunted? Isn't this the life I'm meant to lead? You were my white picket fence, my only sense of normalcy, like a home-cooked meal for the first time in weeks and weeks. My American dreamer made a believer out of me. But that white picket fence isn't always all it's cracked up to be. Sit down and mull it over. Is it too big a risk to take on? Not comfortable, would I be making a mistake? But I can't live in black and white. I can't tell a lie to save my life. Isn't this my childhood dream? Isn't it my happily ever after? You were my white picket fence, my only sense of normalcy, like a home-cooked meal for the first time in weeks and weeks. My American dreamer made a believer That white picket fence isn't always all it's cracked up to be. Raindrops on roses and whiskers on kittens. This is the hardest bullet I've bitten. I'm painting the walls white and drawing the curtains. We'll both be better off, I know this for certain. You were my white picket fence, my only sense of normalcy, like a home-cooked meal for the first time in weeks and weeks. My American dreamer made a believer out of me. That white picket fence isn't always all it's cracked up to be. All right. So with the recording of that album, that was my first time in a studio, period. And I had, at that time when I recorded that, about 2 years ago, I had never played with a full band. And then since recording that, I started to playing with other people a lot more, and built a band that I am really fortunate to have. It's kind of a mishmash of funk. We've got pop influences, rock, guys that are in a lot of other bands around town, and they're such a fun group of people. It's really great to be able to take something that I've written and then give it to them and have the sound almost completely change into something that I didn't even know it was what I was going for. So this next one is off of the record as well. It's called Hung Me Out to Dry. And the original acoustic form of this song is what I'm going to play for you today. But the live arrangement is probably my favorite one that we've got. So shout out to all my boys in my band. I miss you guys a lot. Out to dry. My baby hung me out to dry. My baby didn't bat an eye when he threw me under the bus. When he left me without a fuss. My baby hung me out to dry like an old rag under the sunny sky. My baby didn't bat an eye when he threw me under the bus. When he left without a fuss. All was fair in love and war, so it seems fair that he slammed the door and cut ties. But it was only love on my side. So my baby hung me out to dry. My baby hung me out to dry. My baby didn't bat an eye when he threw me under the bus, when he left without a fuss. My daddy told me not to trust, and my mama said it's only lust. My brother said he's just a crush, but I didn't pay them any mind. I guess I should have listened to the words of the wise. My baby hung me out to dry. My baby hung me out to dry. My baby didn't bat an eye when he threw under the bus, when he left without a fuss. My baby, sweet baby, such a good baby. Now he's dead to me. Now he's dead to me. And now he's dead to me. All right. I've got one last song for you guys. Thanks so much for everyone who's out there listening. I know there's plenty of things you could be doing on a Wednesday night, one of which would be putting on your favorite records, music of any kind, and dancing in your kitchen, as I have done, to relieve the stress of seemingly impending doom the past couple months. So I'm going to do a cover of Corinne Bailey Rae's Put Your Records On. So. Three little birds, well, they sat on my window, and they told me I don't need to worry. Summer came like cinnamon, so sweet. Little girls double dutch on the concrete. Maybe sometimes we feel afraid, but it's alright. The more things seem to change, the more they stay the same. Don't you think it's strange? Girl, put your records on. Tell me your favorite song. You go ahead, your hair down. Sapphire and fitted jeans. I hope you get your dreams. Just go ahead, your hair down. You're gonna find yourself somewhere, somehow. Blue as the sky, well, it's somber and lonesome. Sipping tea in a bar by the roadside. Just relax, and don't you let those alibis fool you. Gotta love that afro hairdo. Maybe sometimes we've got it wrong, but we're alright. The more things stay the same, the more they seem to change. And don't you hesitate, girl, put your records on. Tell me your favorite song. You go ahead, let your head down. Sapphire and faded jeans, well, I hope you get your dreams. Just go ahead, let your head down. You're gonna find yourself somewhere, somehow. Twice as more than I could take. Pity for pity's sake, some nights kept me awake. I thought that I was stronger. When you're gonna realize that you don't even have to try any longer. Do what you want to, and girl, put your records on. Tell me your favorite song. Just go ahead, let your head down. Sapphire and faded jeans, I hope you get your dreams. Just go ahead, let your head down. You're gonna find yourself somewhere, somehow. All right. Thanks so much for having me. Thanks everyone for listening. Make sure that you stick around. Got tons of great artists left. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Hannah. We really, really appreciate it. And yeah, as you can see, you can support Hannah. Her socials have been running all through here. So we are going to bring our next performer. Please welcome Dennis. Hi, Dennis. How are you?
Hi, Taylor. Thanks so much for inviting me. I've been really enjoying the Boundaries shows over the past 7 weeks, and I'm really flattered and honored that you invited me to be here tonight.
We're happy to have you. So we'll let you take it away.
So as Taylor said, my name is Dennis Green, and I am a radio personality and a writer from Cedar Rapids. I just finished the final book in a trilogy called Traveler. It's kind of a mashup of parallel universe, sci-fi, and mystery noir. So if that leads you to think that maybe what you're about to hear from me is something I hope you find fun and maybe escapist, time to escape just a little bit from all the troubles that we're thinking about now, you'd be right. There is also a monkey. I've been thinking a lot lately about how our definition of heroes has changed in the last couple of months. A hero today is not so much that mom whose adrenaline surge allows her to lift a car off her children, but the mom who goes to work at the hospital, knowing that she can't come home until she won't risk infecting her family. Or the grocery clerks, the truck drivers, and the meat packers who risk their lives to keep the food supply going. This story is about different kinds of heroes, too. It takes place in my favorite kind of place, the kind of place I haven't been able to get too much lately, a bar. But this is a very special bar. If you enjoy the program tonight, please donate to CSPS at legionarts.org. If you'd like to know more about my stuff, my website's listed below, too. And with that, house band. The hero leaned on his staff. Eyes the color of smoke, red-rimmed and weary, met mine. There was a bruise under the left one that was 3 different shades of green. What do I owe you? He reached for his wallet with the arm that wasn't in a sling. I watched him twist around for a minute before waving him off. Forget it, I said. I'll put it on your tab. Odds are I'm not going to make it through the night. And I'm not exactly a great credit risk in the first place. I waved my hand to the quartet setting up in the bar's tiny stage. If I was in this for the money, I'd quit bringing in jazz bands. Good point. One of the musicians opened a road case. He flipped microphones to the others, hardly giving them time to slide the mics into their stands before he followed with cables. The hero watched this show of precision. Nice to be a part of a team, I murmured. When he didn't reply, I tried again. Still planning to work alone tonight? Have to. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe not. His gaze snapped back to me. What do you mean by that? I inclined my head toward the door. A trio of figures filled the doorway. And I do mean filled. One was huge, nearly 7 feet tall, and hairy as an ape. He scanned the bar, his unibrow wrinkled and his nostrils flared. He locked in on the hero and nudged one of his companions. She was a petite blonde, very young. At first glance, you'd think she belonged not in my place, but in a dance club, doing jello shots with a crowd of co-eds. Until you looked in her eyes, there was something very, very cold in there. Or maybe it was the twin Desert Eagles hosted on either hip. The third member of the odd party, a ridiculously handsome man dressed all in black, looked at the hero with an annoyed expression and said, "Well, are we going to do this or what?" "How'd they find me?" the hero demanded. I shrugged. "I can't risk their lives." "Their choice." The handsome man tapped his wrist. "Tick-tock." Shaking his head, the hero heaved himself to his feet. As he did, the lower portion of the giant's beard detached itself and launched into the air. A smile cracked the hero's face as he held out his arm. The monkey landed on it like a falcon. It scolded him with a rapid-fire explosion of chittering and clambered onto his shoulder. "Hey!" I called. 5 heads swung in my direction. "Don't forget this." I picked up the floppy leather hat he'd left lying on the bar and tossed it like a frisbee. The monkey caught it and plopped it on the hero's head. The group broke into laughter as music swelled in a glorious crescendo and abruptly ended in a squeal of feedback. "Shit!" The drummer frantically twisted knobs on the amp. "Sorry!" The hero was last out. He gently pushed the monkey's arms out of the way and straightened the hat to a less cockeyed angle. Just before the darkness swallowed him, he looked back over his shoulder and gave me a 2-fingered salute. I nodded back as the hero slipped into the night to meet his destiny. Down the bar, a fellow waggled his glass. I filled him up as he watched the strange posse leave. "What was that all about?" the fellow asked as he accepted his pint. "Oh, rogue demigod trying to open up a portal to hell or something like that." "That happen a lot?" "More often than you'd think." "Should I be worried?" I shook my head. "They've got it." He took a sip of his beer. He opened his mouth to ask me something else, but there was a noise further on down the bar. A bearded wizard straight out of central casting, right down to the robe and peaked cap, snapped his fingers in front of a corncob pipe clenched between his teeth. I pulled a lighter from my pocket and held it out to him. He stared at me with a confused frown. I flicked it to life. He leapt back, cursing in Etruscan. In the same language, I told him to cool it and showed him how the lighter worked. Delighted, he snatched it from me and cackled happily as he flipped it on and off. I walked back toward the man I'd been talking to. "Sometimes they forget magic doesn't work in here," I explained. "Magic?" He looked around, noticing our clientele for the first time. Next to the wizard, 2 dwarves matched each other drink for drink. Further down, a table full of vampires celebrated a birthday, if the cake with something in the neighborhood of 200 candles was any indication. And the band, of course. The man's eyes grew wide as he realized the slow, shambling gait of the musicians was not from the previous night's after-hours partying. "Wait," he said. "Are they?" "Well, you know what they say. All the great jazz players are dead." If I was expecting a laugh, it didn't come. He was studying his glass and didn't appear to have heard. "Vampires? Wizards? Zombies? Why am I buying this just like it's normal?" He looked up at me. "Am I crazy?" I smiled and slid a bowl of snack mix in front of him. "My snack mix is pretty awesome. I don't skimp on the peanuts like most places do." "You're not crazy. When you're in my place, having a drink with the wizard, or listening to zombies play jazz seems quite normal. They won't attack us or anything? Oh, you mean, I dropped my jaw and rolled my eyes toward the back of my head. Brains! Yeah, that's a myth. A band made up of zombies? I shrugged. I promised these guys once I'd always let them play here. And that applies even after they die. Well, the union would prefer I hide from the roster, but a promise is a promise. The dwarves signaled for another round. The man watched as I loaded Natalie up with 6 more pitchers. So what happens when I leave? He asked. You'll remember sitting next to a weird but harmless old guy, hearing a good band, and buying drinks from a delightful and erudite barkeep. By now, his glass was empty, and I refilled him. So what brings you out tonight? I asked. He frowned. Why should something have brought me out? I stopped in for a drink. Is that unusual? Of course not. This was the tricky part. Choosing my words carefully, I continued. Why'd you pick this place? Because I'd been His voice trailed off, and his face clouded in confusion. No, because, well, you're troubled, and a drink seemed like a good way to clear your head, right? What is this place? He demanded. Who are you? Just a guy serving drinks, I said mildly. Relax. Relax? He jumped off the bar stool. I think I've had enough. Are you using some kind of hocus pocus to keep me here? Don't be ridiculous. You can leave anytime you want. I want. Sure. Let me just ring you up. I turned toward the cash register, continuing with my back to him. Of course, if you do, you won't find what you're looking for. He digested this until I returned with his bill. He ignored it, staring at me intently. What makes you think I'm looking for something? You're here. What does that mean? People find this place because they need to. I inclined my head to the wizard. He needs a break from people demanding he lead their stupid quests. What about the guy with the rogue demigod? He needed to be someplace where his friends would find him. Why? So he didn't end up a bloody smear. He didn't know that? Oh, at some level, we always know what we need to do. Doesn't mean we're prepared to do it. He didn't reply for a long time. That's me, I guess, he finally said. You know what you should do? He nodded. But if I'm wrong, I'll get fired and blackballed. Probably never work again. And if you're right, a bunch of people go to jail. What happens to you? Well, nobody likes a whistleblower. I'll get fired and blackballed. Probably never work again. Nice. What's your gut tell you? That a bunch of people need to go to jail. I nodded again and poured him a drink. He looked at it and frowned. Didn't I just cash out? This one's on the house. I poured myself one as well, and we touched glasses. He studied me again as we each took another drink. You never answered my question. I forgot what it was. What is this place? It's where you go to get up the courage to go back out there. I jerked a thumb toward the door. And fight a rogue demigod. Or the system. He stared into his glass for a long moment. What are your boys' chances? He finally asked. I mean, if the world's going to end, breach of fiduciary conduct becomes kind of a moot point, right? Yeah, I don't think you can count on that. He's used to fighting out of his weight class. Just my luck. The band had moved on to Mercy, Mercy, Mercy. He bobbed his head in time with the music. When the tune ended, he tossed off the rest of his drink. Want another? He shook his head. That'd just be putting it off. I know what I need to do. Yeah? Fight out of my weight class. Heaving himself to his feet, he shrugged into his coat, settled a stocking cap on his head, and strode to the door. Just before the darkness swallowed him, he looked back over his shoulder and gave me a 2-fingered salute. I nodded back as the hero slipped into the night to meet his destiny. Got any duct tape? Called a voice. The sax player leaned against the end of the bar. What happened? Chet lost a finger. Again? I tossed him the roll I keep behind the bar for just such an emergency. Some of us go out and wage war against injustice. Others of us just trying to keep the band together. Thanks again for listening and for watching tonight. Enjoy the rest of the show, and please contribute to the Venmos and the donation sites that you're seeing. Scroll across the bottom of your screen now.
Thanks, Dennis. We really appreciate it. All right, so we are going to bring some Iowa blues legends to the stage. Yep, all the way from Decorah, Iowa, right? You're in Decorah, right?
Well, actually, the band's out of the Quad Cities, so we're in the Quad Cities, but I live in Decorah, so I just choose as far away as possible from these guys. That's my choice.
Right. Yeah.
There's a small barrier.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for having us, Taylor.
Of course. Yeah, we'll let you go.
Okay, I will. I just wanted to say, Dennis, thanks for the fun story, especially one that included musicians and a two-finger salute and duct tape. You're so right on. And I also wanted to say, Hannah, beautiful music. I was really moved. Nina J, I hope you're still here because you had some powerful words and some raw words and some correct words because they're yours. From our new album, The Devil May Care, we actually have a song on there that I shared again today off of our YouTube channel because it was inspired by the words of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And it just seems right, given how Nina started us off, to kick off this final segment with the song that calls us all to action and to rise up together in love. It's called Rise Up. Well, listen, all my children, it's time to gather around. Feel the suffering of your mothers and make a mighty sound and rise up. You know we gotta rise up. We're gonna have to come together if we're gonna make things right. Give a spark to each candle, drive the darkness from our light. Rise up, oh everybody rise up. 'Cause we're standing at the crossroads and the paths that we can take. One with the bright tomorrow and we're filled with freedom. They'll turn that anger into action. Well, they start, but we must try. It's when the babies born and the old men cry. Gotta rise up. Well, hear the desperate children, they're moving to the streets. Weary steps, they come together, and they march a mighty beat, and they rise up. Hear my children rise up. Once we're standing at the crossroads, and the paths that we can take. One way to bright tomorrow, and we're filled with freedom. Well, turn that anger into action. It's hard, but we must try. It's when the babies born and the old men cry. Gotta rise up. gather all my children. Well, the time to move is here. Let love bring us together and wipe away our tears. Oh, we can make a better day, and I'll be there by your side when the babies grow and the old men cry. Gotta yeah, we gotta rise up. Yeah, you know we gotta rise up. All right. Yeah.
30 minutes, huh?
A lot of stuff right now. I have to remember my tune real quick, but we've got a new album out, and I'm pretty excited about it.
Tune quick.
The album is called The Devil May Care, and I thought we should probably start after that moment with the title track from the album. In part because we're excited. I have to touch the screen every like 10 minutes. Yay me.
You said after the second song.
I know, but I was getting nervous. So I actually the Devil May Care came out and hit the Billboard charts, and we were very excited about it. So thank you to everyone that bought the album, and if you don't have it, you can get it on Bandcamp.
Can't.
This is the title track. I want to make sure we can hear you because I was loud. You're right.
I turned up a little bit.
All right.
You said I was too loud before.
Yeah, sometimes you are too. We argue all the time. Your eyes won't show me. My body is baptized. I know this is wrong, but I am glorified. With your words, you anoint me. And I abide. Oh, one touch of the skin, and I am sanctified. I want you to stay, but I know that you won't. Oh, the devil may care about this sin. I sure is hell on. Spirit is moving deep down in my soul. Oh, you bring me down and you build me back up and you make me whole. With your touch I'm feeling sacred and the profane. Oh, when I smoke death and I'm born again. I want you to stay, but I know that you won't. Oh, the devil may care about this sin. I sure is hell no.
the record, minus 2 of us.
Minus our bass player and our keys guy.
Take 2.
We just really want to thank CSPS Hall for having us. We didn't even know we were on your radar, so it's nice to be on your radar. Thank you. We actually came out. We've been a band for 3 years now, a little over 3 years, and
came out of the woodwork.
We came out of the woodwork right away with an EP.
That's no pun intended to my lumberjack shirt.
Oh, okay. The EP came out
of the woodwork. Get it?
I got it. I love how he thinks he's funny.
You know what? Everybody's sense of humor. Sometimes it'll take you a minute. You'll be laughing in like an hour. Because the shirt and the wood. You get it? You'll be laughing. Okay.
When we, I'm going to do this just in case.
Folks.
When we,
oh, you touched it again?
I touched it again. When we came out with our EP, we had some fun songs in there. And I think we did this track. It was called You Need Love.
Where's the song about you want? Here, go.
A little more of the classic blues feel to it. Shall we?
I know what you're doing. I know I can hear. I believe I'm whisper in your ear. I'll turn down. Baby, love. You need love. Oh, baby, you need love.
I know what you're doing. You need to take your place. Just come with me, baby. When I do my saving grace, I need love. Oh, baby, I need love. I need love. Baby, I need
If you want to find me, couch is where I'll be.
But just come with me, baby. You know what I mean? I need love. Oh, baby, I need love. I need love. Baby, I need love.
Baby, you need love.
Oh, baby, I need love.
Baby, you need love.
Oh, baby, I need love. I need love. Baby, I need love. Oh, you guys, this is so fun for us. We're really.
Cha cha cha. Oh.
I think we're gonna do one that gets requested all the time. Other than that one,
What do you got?
it's on the new album. It's about my dirty little secret.
Oh.
You're my dirty little secret. I like the way you roll. Yeah, my dirty little secret. I like the way you roll. You're no good for my body. Oh, but you're so good for my soul. My doctor says you're no good for me. My girlfriend said too. doctor says you're no good for me. My girlfriend said too. Oh, a dirty little secret. Oh, I just can't quit. This light is so bright.
In your face.
In your face.
That's so colorful today.
I love that I have to keep doing this. So come, hi everybody. That's my big face.
Oh, every time you touch it, it makes it bigger.
Yeah.
And then it goes back the other way.
And then it goes back the other way. Hey, could we do a song that I don't play on? I actually wanted to do this.
Thank you. There's that humor again, folks.
He's a jerk. We actually had a song that came out during quarantine. I know some of you that follow us have heard these songs now 100 times, but there's a lot of you that we haven't connected with before, and we want to be able to do some of our songs. This one we released on the day of our album release party, which was March 20th. And it's a crowdsourced quarantine original music video, which is kind of cool. You can find it on YouTube with the whole band behind it, and it's a lot of fun. It's people from all over Iowa.
It's people on MTV too.
MTV? Do they still play videos?
Don't be silly. MTV doesn't play music anymore.
That was the joke.
Just
If
Facebook
you listen to
Live.
this, if you listen to episode 375.6 of Jersey Shore,
I think it's on.
I think
16
it's
and
on
pregnant.
the dock
So
of
this.
Avey when they're having a snooky moment.
Okay, so this song is on the new album, and it has people on the video from all over the world, including London and Switzerland. So it's from all over. It's called Let's Take It Slow. It's good for quarantining. This is why we don't give you guys microphones. I can tell you had a hard day. Well, babe, I had a hard day too. We're always rushing around, there's so much to do. All day I've been thinking about how you hold me when we dance. We got nowhere to be, babe, so this is our chance. You get the wine, I'll get the glasses, so we can do this thing just right. We're gonna need a few records, 'cause this could take all night. And maybe we'll remember, oh, just how this dance goes. Oh, baby, we got the night, so let's take it slow. like the record.
Lots of whistling.
You have to do it with me. I can't whistle. I look like Chubby Bunny. You get the wine, I'll get the glasses, so we can do this thing just right. I'll put on some fans and a little TV, and play me the Barry White. Baby will remember, oh, just how this dance goes. Oh, baby, we got the night, so let's take it slow. Yeah, we got the night, so let's take it slow. Yeah, we can do this all night, so let's take it slow.
Cha-cha-cha ending in there.
Got it.
Oh, you guys.
Oh, I
That's
feel much
probably
better. We got that.
dancers during quarantine.
I should introduce us. I guess I didn't do that. So the Avey Grouws Band, I am not Avey, which is a common misconception. It's Chris Avey,
It's a secret.
Jenny Grouws, Brian West.
Avey West.
That's Avey.
Brian Grouws.
Brian West. And we're missing our bass player, Randy Leisman, and keys, Nick Vasquez. They are still quarantining. We've kind of been a trio for some time here. I guess since March 14th, technically. I think we'll do a song that came about when we first got together as a band, but we did put it on the new album because it's about drinking, which we might have been doing a little bit of during social distancing.
Before this? No.
And before this, actually, we've probably done less during social
Do
distancing.
you want to know what the
than we
weird
did.
thing is? Before this, the two of us were having salad.
We were, because
I
we're
mean,
getting
that's-
chunky.
That's living on the edge, people.
Good thing Brian's staying slim. This one's based
I'm
on.
picking up machines in the other room. Like, you ever seen that Man with Two Brains where they infuse two things? I'm
Yes.
actually going to send all my fat to Brian.
Oh,
Thanks.
is Brian okay with this?
Yeah,
And I almost made it to $1.99.
that's all right.
We're gonna do a song.
$1.99, people.
We're gonna do a song that is inspired by our friends in La Crosse, Wisconsin. We love Wisconsin, so shout out to Wisconsin, the place of my birth. Bars are in the blood. On the west coast of Wisconsin, in a tiny little bar, it was rough and it was hot and full of shots and PBRs. The band was really rolling and the crowd was getting loud. And a man in his Sunday coat came singing through the crowd. He said, "They just towed my car because I got an outdated sticker, but I got 2 days off and a little bit of liquor." Which I should have had tonight. It would have helped. It would have helped me. Well, they called him Matt, and he smiled at the band, and then he spun around, slammed a whiskey down, took a woman by the hand, and he held her close, without a crease on his sleeve, and in a flash he grabbed her purse, and as they were about to leave, he said, "I just lost my girl, which means I ain't gotta trick her, and I got 2 days off and a little bit of liquor. 2 days off. Yeah, I got 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 2 days off, but my wallet ain't any thicker. Come Friday night, I got 2 days off and a little bit of liquor. Nice. So this week's just been awful, and the days feel so damn long. You got double trouble on repeat, cause there's truth in that song. You don't think you'll make it, And it's only Wednesday, I remember back to Mac. And I think, girl, what would he say? He'd say, wallowing in your pity won't make this week go any quicker. Because Friday night we get 2 days off and a little bit of liquor. 2 days off. Sing it with us. Yeah, I got 2 days off. You're not alone, we're with you. I got 2 days off. Yeah, I got 2 days off. Yeah, I got 2 days off, but my wallet ain't any thicker. Because Friday night I have 2 days off and a little bit of liquor. Yeah, 2 days off. Yeah, I got 2 days off.
I'm gonna have some more time.
Yeah, I got 2 days off.
I ain't drunk. I'm just
Yeah, I got 2 days off.
I had to do it.
Yeah, you see, wallowing in your pity won't make this week go any quicker. But come Friday night, I got 2 days off and a whole lot of liquor. You're nice neighbors.
Thank you guys all for tuning in. I know I got busy watching the neighbor going outside. So.
I do want to thank CSPS again and Hannah and Dennis, who I've known for a few years, and Nina J. I better touch this again. I know this is super annoying, but I don't want to lose you because my phone decides that it's time to turn. Do you want to? How's that? So
it's up to you. I mean,
I think what
I'm
we'll
good
do.
with it how it is.
I think what we'll do is do you want to sing with me, Princess?
What would you like to do?
I was thinking.
I'll do what you want.
One of the songs from the new album.
Oh.
Where we actually let Prince Chapesa here sing. Would you do that with me? And I'll try not to be loud. I'll let you be louder. Yeah. I'm just tuning, la la la. I love this idea of artists coming together. Spoken word, we got the author, the poet, the singer, songwriter, and the goofballs. The totally uncool goofballs.
Are they on after us?
When do they come on?
I'm afraid to tell you, if nobody's after us, that only leaves one group to be the goofballs.
We're the closer. Sorry, this is what you guys got to see last.
Yeah, we'll do a couple more songs here, but this one is off the new album. It's called Dig What You Do. Let me tell you, baby, what I want to hear from you. I want to hear that you love me, that you'll always be true, 'cause I did what you do. I did what you do. Yeah, I'm crazy about you, baby, and I did what you do. It don't bother me, baby. Say I'm not the only one. We can still get together. We can still have our fun, 'cause I did what you do. I did what you do. Yeah, I'm crazy about you, baby, and I did what you do. Oh, what song's it gonna be? I did what you do. Getting crazy about you. Yeah, what you know I did, what you do now. Yeah, I'm trying to get my and I did what you do. You know what? I think I'm looking at what time it is. It's like 8:21, and I don't know if there's any messages here because I can't see my phone. I don't know if there's any messages. Anyway, sorry about my neck. I think we could.
Sorry about my neck.
I think we can throw in. I don't know if we're supposed to go till 8:30, so let's say that.
Let's do one more.
Two. Because people paid for the show, and
people pay
if Taylor doesn't like it, he'll just cut us off, right? Taylor? So we'll just do 2 quick ones. I want to make one up right now.
You want to make one up?
Yeah, why not? Like we can do it in A, we can do it in B. Like you
like bluesy?
Yeah, but like.
Man, I'm here with you. I got you.
Okay. I don't want to tell you what it should be, but I just thought. But you got to tell me what key you're choosing. That's the only rule. B?
Like that?
That sounds great. Oh, you guys, this has been so much fun. I think we'll do one last one to get out of here, but thank you again to CSPS Hall and to everybody tuning in, because that makes a big deal, everyone that shared. And hey, nice job to all the other artists that have been on here. It's cool to see artists coming together and getting,
thank you for having us again.
To put out this way. It's really cool.
Yeah.
What kind of song should we end with? I feel like we started kind of like intense. We could end fun, or we can end.
I'm gonna let you pick, because whatever I say is gonna be wrong.
Probably true.
So I mean,
tell you what, you know what? We're gonna just have fun. I'm gonna turn my guitar off. We're gonna do one more drinking song because people like it and it's fun. And frankly, I'm having Diet Coke right now, but it'll be fun anyway. This was on the EP.
To have a good time?
You don't. But this
You don't
song,
have to drink to have fun. You can just watch us on the internet. You can dance and party all night.
that song's been written.
These my own words. You're welcome. Okay.
So my Diet Coke cheers to you with a song from our EP. It's called I'd Rather Be Drunk. Cheers, you guys. Well, I'd rather be drunk than spend my time with you. Yes, I'd rather be drunk than spend my time with you. You know you got me so mad, drinking's all I do. Well, I'm going down south where the weather's nice and warm. Yeah, see, I came down south from the Fort to the Quad Cities where the weather's nice and warm. Say I'm gonna leave you, baby, I ain't coming back no more. All right, what you got, princess? CSPS on and everybody watching. Thank you so much for having us for the Avey Grouws. Cheers.
Thank you guys. This was awesome. Thank you so much.
Where you sing and we play along, right?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I think maybe later.
Okay.
Leave that to you.
Man.
All right. Yeah, well, thank you so much for tuning in. We really, really enjoy doing these every single week. Please join us next week, same time, Wednesdays, 7 p.m. For our next Boundaries. Have a good week. Stay healthy and safe. And please, if you're able to, you can go back and watch this on YouTube or Facebook Live, see the ways you can support the artists throughout this process. And please, if you can, give to them. All right. With that, we'll talk to you later, and thank you so much.